President Werner, faculty, and most importantly, the freshman class of 2014, thank you for inviting me to speak to you today. What I want to share with you is how you can get an Ivy League quality education right here at IUP. And you may have noticed I have two folders up here, a long one and a short one. So what do you want to hear, the long one or the short one? All right, then I'll put the long one away. I thought that might happen. So, you're probably thinking, Ray, I'm not going to pay 50 grand a year to be here. And I know the average SAT score at IUP is probably about a standard deviation away from those Harvard kids. And I'm pretty sure IUP's never had a Nobel Prize winner either. So how can I possibly get the same education here? Well, the good news is that I visited Harvard and I visited Berkeley this summer. And I studied with current and former students at some of these elite programs doing some recon, and I know their secret. This is the textbook that the Harvard kids use for their calculus classes. And this is the textbook that IUP kids use for their calculus classes. That's right. And the book they use for their Intro to Economics course at Harvard is written by Harvard professor Greg Mankiw, the same book that most of our professors use. And the ones who don't probably use the intro text written by Princetonian Nobel Prize laureate Paul Krugman. Hard to go wrong. Oh, but by the way, before I go on, you should really consider economics as a major, or at least a minor. The Italian textbooks, identical. So if all you did was read every page of your textbooks, you'll have the same education as the students at an Ivy institution, right? Well, I'm here to tell you that the most important parts of your education, they come from outside of the classroom. It's the people you meet, the books and blogs and magazines you read, the speeches you write, and the trips you take, the clubs you join and the hobbies you take up, and the opportunities that you enjoy that make your education as valuable as the students at Harvard, Princeton, or Yale. And since that's a $50,000 a year for 4, sometimes 5 years, that's a secret. So let me paraphrase it again. You should take every opportunity that is presented to you while you're at IUP. I know IUP students who have taken internships in Pittsburgh, Washington, New York, Philadelphia, Milan, Paris, Beijing, on tall ships in Lake Erie, kids who have traveled to China and India, to Turkey, who've spent a year in Spain, Italy, Russia, a year in California living amongst Native Americans, who have volunteered their time with animal shelters and nursing homes here in Indiana and as far away as in Texas. I know students who have built houses with Habitat for Humanity, have organized and run summer camps, curated museums, organized political campaigns, students who have written a thesis and presented it at a conference, published in academic journals just like a professor, or gone to a graduate seminar as an undergraduate. And these are the kinds of things that students at Princeton and Duke and Brown do. And that's what brings these schools notoriety and develop their great reputations. And those same opportunities are available to you. All you have to do is say, okay, I'll do it. But if your experience is anything like mine has been, there will be more opportunities here than you can possibly take. So how are you going to decide whether to take that trip abroad or that summer internship? Well, Even if you don't know what you want your career to look like, you probably have some idea about the things you want to do in your life, things you'd like to have. And I'll very quickly share with you 2 of the tools you can use to organize these ideas about your life and help you decide which opportunities will be most valuable to you. For my future plans in my high school senior yearbook, I wrote, "Stir the pot, rock the boat, and kick the bucket." And yeah, I'm kind of a wise Alec, but I was completely serious. I didn't have future plans, and I didn't know where I wanted to be in 10 years or what career I wanted. In fact, since high school, I've considered everything from a chef, a pastor, professor, international business person, music composer, a lawyer, and now an economist. And I know I'm not the only one in my shoes, nor the first to feel that way, because Steve Jobs, the co-founder of Apple and founder of Pixar, told the graduate students at Stanford that he was paralyzed by these same choices. But I did have an idea of some of the things I'd like to do in my life, and here's how I organized them. First, I keep a list of goals. And achieving goals, of course, depends on hard work and preparation, careful planning. And if you set your goals the right way, it doesn't always matter if you achieve them. You can get close, and it's still very rewarding. This is the list where that cliche quote about arriving and striving applies. But there's another list of goals I keep for which arriving is all that matters. One that left incomplete, I'd feel unsatisfied. And short because it's missing 2 pages. Those items are on my bucket list. And it can only be about 100 pages or 100 items long. And if you die before you check everything off, you kind of feel incomplete. I've been at it for a few years now, and one by one I'm checking the items off. But that got me thinking, what happens if I check all of these items off before I die? Too early. So now when I check something off, I add something new. And I think that's an awesome way to ensure that I have an enriched life full of awesome experiences. So let's recap. There's little or no difference between what you'll learn in the classroom and what a student at Harvard or Princeton will learn in the classroom. Your real education comes outside of the classroom and is defined by the opportunities that you take. So take as many as you can. IUP has so many opportunities that you can't take them all. So choose the ones that align most closely with your goals. And that list of goals or a bucket list, that's a great way to keep track of everything you want to accomplish in your life. Now, I'd like to leave you with a quote that I learned when I was your age, because it aligns closely with the message today, that the decisions you make will determine what your life is like. And I wanted to deliver this quote in costume because I learned it when I was the mayor of Whoville in Seussical the Musical. But they made me wear this goofy robe instead. You have brains in your head and feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own, and you know what you know. And you are the one who will decide where to go. Thank you, and good luck with your academic careers.